Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has acknowledged Islamabad's support to terrorist group Lashkar-e-Taiba's proxy TRF. He confirms that the country got the terror group's name removed from the UNSC statement condemning the Pahalgam terror attack. The Pakistani minister displayed the deep association and concerns Islamabad shares with the terror outfit, which is responsible for killing 26 civilians in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. Ishaq Dar admitted in the Pakistan Senate that the Pakistan government coerced the US into dropping the mentions of TRF and Pahalgam from the UN Security Council statement condemning the incident.
We oppose the mention of TRF at the UNSC statement condemning the Pahalgam terror attack. We refused to budge for 2.5 days. I got calls from global capitals, but I said that Pakistan will not accept it. You have to mention Jammu and Kashmir and delete the reference to TRF, and Pakistan's stance prevailed.
While the Pakistani foreign minister flaunted Islamabad's association with the TRF, it also showed the complicity of Pakistani lawmakers who applauded Dar's advocacy in the Senate. Now, interestingly, within hours of the UNSC statement on Friday, TRF had retracted its earlier claim of responsibility for the Pahalgam attack, calling it a non-authorized message caused by cyber intrusion. Almost simultaneously, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Saturday advocated for neutral probe into a terrorist attack in Pahalgam. And meanwhile, Pakistan's Minister for Information, Ataullah Tarar, has claimed that Islamabad has credible intelligence that India intends to carry out military action against Pakistan in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Pakistan has credible intelligence that India intends carrying out military action against Pakistan in the next 24 to 36 hours.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke separately with Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and India's Foreign Minister Subramaniam M. Jaishankar and expressed his deep concern at rising tensions between India and Pakistan.
The Secretary General reiterated his strong condemnation of the April 22nd terrorist attack that took place in Jammu and Kashmir. The Secretary General noted the importance of pursuing justice and accountability for these attacks through lawful means. The Secretary General also expressed his deep concern at the rising tensions between India and Pakistan, and he also underscored the need to avoid a confrontation that could result in tragic consequences.
The U.S. State Department said Secretary of State Marco Rubio will urge his Indian and Pakistani counterparts not to escalate as tensions between the two countries soar over Pahalgam attack.
To preventing a cataclysmic.
Regarding the Kashmir situation, India and Pakistan, that he said we are reaching out to both parties and telling, of course, them to not escalate the situation. The Secretary expects to speak with the foreign ministers of Pakistan and India as early as today or tomorrow. He is encouraging other national leaders, other foreign ministers, to also reach out to the countries on this issue.
All right, to discuss more, we are being joined live by WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Sidhant Sibal, on the phone line. Thank you, Sidhant, for joining us this morning. Now, we know that U.S. is trying its best to also solve this problem. Marco Rubio will be on a call with Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. What is the latest that you can bring in?
Well, we have seen the Indian External Affairs Minister holding talks with several of his counterparts. In fact, he spoke to 7 foreign ministers yesterday. Many of them are members of the United Nations Security Council, the non-permanent members. And essentially, the conversations are part of India briefing the world community as to how big the issue and the worry of cross-border terrorism is for India and the decisive action India plans to take. We know that the U.S. side has said that they continue to monitor the situation and they are in touch with both India and Pakistan. But what can US do is something that will be also seen as well, because US is a country that has been supportive of India's stance on the issue of terrorism. In fact, we saw the DNI chief Tulsi Gabbard saying that India will support, that the US will support India in terms of bringing the perpetrators of this attack to justice. We have seen other officials from the Trump administration echoing the sentiment, and also the Pahalgam terror attack statement, the condemnation statement at the UNSC was a statement that was initiated by the United States, even though it was diluted by the Pakistani side. In fact, the Pakistani foreign minister said in the Senate yesterday that the TRF, the resistance from the terror groups role, the mentioning was something that was opposed by the Pakistani side. So there are several dynamics which are underway, and we do expect that today will also be a packed day in India, in Pakistan as well, and across the rest of the world as to how the world sees this ongoing developing situation.
Right, and it's very interesting because you mentioned, because Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Ishaq Dar, he admitted in the Pakistan Senate that the Pakistan government coerced US into the dropping the mentions of TRF and Pahalgam. And this is all happening where even Pakistan's information minister is saying that, well, India will be attacking. Now, this seems to be escalating. Do you think there would be any kind of role, and how do you assess US's role in trying to get the both countries on the table and trying to solve this problem?
Well, U.S. will be trying to dial down the tensions, but the U.S. stance will be through the issue of cross-border terrorism and the issue of terrorism, because U.S. itself has taken a strong stance and echoed the Indian stance on the issue of terrorism. So U.S. role is important. What actions U.S. can take is something that everyone will be waiting for next few days. But India has made it clear. In fact, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday held a very important meeting, which was a meeting attended by the Indian Defence Minister, the NSA, the CDS and the Sea Service Chiefs, where he gave full operational freedom to the forces to take action in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. Yesterday was also a week since the terror attack happened, in which over 20 people have died, and this is the worst terror attack targeting civilians in India since the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. So there is palpable anger in India. And, of course, the Indian government has time and again, including Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, twice has clearly said that he will take decisive action against those who are responsible for the terror attack and those who have been supporting terrorism in the region, which basically means Pakistan.
Right, and Pakistan is yet to condemn the attack, and of course, we'll see how it all plays out. But thank you, Siddhant, for joining us and giving all the updates.